Armenia.
Hello, Mr. Raamayan.
Greetings. Welcome to the sunny world of Bali.
I can't show you the 40 degree Yorkton because I'm in a basement with no windows.
You gotta come out to Bali. You'll never leave.
Oh, well, supposedly I won't be able to get there. The G20 said that not unvaxxed people can't travel between countries. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Jeez, I should get there soon.
Yeah, all right.
So you're in Bali, and how long are you going to stay there?
I'm not leaving.
Is your team there?
Nope, they're coming.
They're coming?
They're coming.
Uh,
I'm trying to wrap everybody to come here as I do.
uh,
Uh-huh.
well, I, I'd be open to an invitation.
Would you?
Oh yeah.
I would love you to come here. I would totally love to extend an invite to you. Actually, there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about. One of them is these guys called the Universe. And I'm going to send you them. They're building a new DAO called the Universe. And they're using the 508. So they're using the religious exemption in the United States to be able to create a wrapper, to be able to support all organizations being able to live their own values and do their own thing under religious exemption. They've already created all the architecture for it. They're helping DAOs be able to build under that exemption to be able to fulfill their true dharmic purpose. They're brilliant, an amazing legal team, and they're putting on a 6-week incubator with thought leaders from all the different DAOs around the world, bringing them together and bringing light leaders together for these different DAOs. It's happening at the end of March. So I think, you being there for that could be like the critical confluence moment, bringing in the inflow. Like that could be a moment where the inflow is now used to be able to organize and help self-organize a lot of these DAOs. And like this could be the moment that we've been looking for. So I'll send you all the info about it
Okay.
and, check in with your system and see how it lands.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
So, what did you think of the eight map I sent you today?
I liked it.
I mean, is it? Let me just put it up
A
here.
good one. The strategy map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Where the heck did it go? Why doesn't Zoom have actual folder system on their backgrounds? Like something as
Yeah.
simple something as simple as that, and they're like such a sophisticated company, but you've got like a hundred little backgrounds here. And anyway, another one of my complaints about.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons that I really liked it is because also the background that you used, I feel like was really good background. I think sometimes where it jumbles me is when you use a picture as a background with people. And what happens is that the visual field between the cards and the actual background gets really confused. Where I think you using an image background, using a primary color, it reminds me of like activities. And it's cool, but it actually allows the cards and it allows the concepts to still have foreground. And I think it's general as a general design strategy, this is good.
So you're saying this is good as opposed to just
As opposed to using a picture of somebody like us,
right, 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 right.
And I get what you're trying to do with that, but it creates visually confusion in the field where I don't really resonate. I don't really look at the cards and the concepts become harder to pull out because there's so much engaging me with the picture. Where the background is cool, but it doesn't take away necessarily from the actual cards and my readability of it. So
So are you talking kind of about the images I sent you with your picture on it?
yeah, I like them. It's cool, but I wouldn't particularly use those because of the legibility of the actual cards, where I want to draw more about the cards. So in general, your maps that don't have people images in the background are stronger. Like, yeah, like these.
Okay, I guess I put the pictures on for the people specifically to sort of try to engage you like this your
Yeah,
value
which I
system.
like. I'm just wondering if we can have like a box for them in the corner, or if we can have something that doesn't take away from the visual engagement of the map. Just
Okay,
a small suggestion, but something I noticed over time because you've been and I've been working with you for a long time.
yeah,
Is these maps are generally more engaging to me because I'm now
okay,
focused on the concept inside of a beautiful landscape.
okay. Well, you should have just said that. I would have made you a new set of, or you send me the pictures that you want.
Cool.
If you send me eight pictures, each one for each one of them, I'll redo them and send them to you.
Hmm.
And then if you actually 3 days ago, I spent an hour maybe 2 hours, and I did all of these value systems. I did them all, and I I don't know. Do you know there's 8 original cells? Did you know that when we're created, there's these 8 original cells, and they're the only cells that don't get recreated. So there's like 8 original
Right.
cells. I think they grow into our archetypes. I think they actually grow into the side parts of ourselves. And so
That's
each one of
cool.
these maps is sort of representing each
Mythos.
one of those.
I like that mythos. That's cool. I was thinking as well, like, I think we need to do a card set for principles.
Uh,
I think that's what's been missing. Like it dawned on me the other day. I'm like, values are amorphous principles of the tangible application of values into form. And
they're
I
the
feel like
specifics.
they're the specifics. I think each value needs a set of 8 principles.
Holy shit, that's 800 principles. That's okay. I'll get on it.
I think it'll be pretty easy to bang out. Like, what are some of, I don't think it'll be, I think we can just write a bunch out. Like, what are the 8 principles of integrity? Like, you already have the trust map. Like,
Yeah,
like you took that trust, you took that value and you broke it out into a map, which looked at the 8 facets of trust, which now
right.
you can create spectrums from. And now that becomes an actual usable thing. I think with the trust map is an example of what we need to look at with the love map, the compassion map,
Yeah,
what are
yeah,
the primary values and how do we actually deepen? Because I notice what happens is we have a concept and a value and then people don't necessarily know how to engage with it. Yes, we can have a conversation around it, but in order to take that deeper and actually have a practical organizational or personal application, it needs principal architectures. It needs that.
well, I think you're right. You're right. I mean, we've talked about this before, but you're right.
We have. It doesn't need to do all at once, but I mean, maybe start with the first most primary 8 values. What are like the most important 8 values? Maybe, that we can look at breaking down.
Well, you know, when also remember, I did do that, not quite with principles, but I broke down the values of the SKC and I gave them levels. Remember?
I remember that. Those were good. That was the first time you did that. That's the starting point of this. I remember you did that and you could kind of move up or down.
Yeah, because that's the same. It's not quite the same thing, but it's again a refinement of what that value is and where you're at with it. So, because you're right, because the language layer is like it is a language layer. It is useful, but it's still too amorphous or
Too
abstract.
amorphous, especially because it's English. If it's Sanskrit, it's less amorphous, right? And this is something we've talked about with Jeffrey because that word has such a deep embedded contextual layer behind that language layer that, its meaning carries through time, where English hasn't very well
Right,
traditionally. So
right.
the language layer, at least in the field, if we're looking at when I say a word, it pulls open information in the field, it's just all over the fucking place,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and Sanskrit is, I think, probably a lot more specific, right? I mean, it's a higher language of light, I think, than English is.
Way
Um,
more. Yeah.
so what's going on with creation? Like, where are you at with the whole platform?
Oh, it's coming along. It's coming along better than it ever has. We actually have a demo of the platform now. The platform's actually running. You can create a profile. You can create a space. It pulls open the whole space. It's architected. Like the actual platform is coming together. We have all of our membership levels now. We've just this week built the NFT contract. So now each different membership becomes an NFT. We're looking at the discourse plugin and looking at the voting plugin. So we have the platform's actually coming together now, which is really exciting. It's really started to move out of conceptual reality into like something that, in the next 3-4 weeks, we'll be able to have an actual production demo in our hands.
Is it is it ready for testing or not quite there?
No, probably end of Jan.
Because do you know what? Did I tell you what happened in TikTok again? I
Yep.
I had my first account went down, right? It was just starting to get a bit of traction. First time I was actually getting a few views there. And so
Yeah.
and then I don't know what the algorithm, I was sort of like at very low numbers. And then I did something that has now almost 30,000 views and quite a lot of discussion. And then at the end of it, I put a call out for Planetary Guardians. And then I have 9 people out of
Yeah.
26, out of 20, almost 30,000 views. 9 people have answered the email. I put an email in there and they actually
Cool.
contacted me. So it's a beginning.
That is
And
the beginning. It's actually, that's not bad for that view count. You may think it's actually not that bad, that conversion rate.
but I was hoping, you know, I now I want to take them through the process. You know, I don't want to. I always overwhelm them with the stupid maps at the beginning, right? And the
Yeah.
people. So I want to build a real process, right? Or a process of entry into something, and have a vetting process, because I think the key is making teams, like to really have a platform that brings the right people together to work together. Um, you know, I know that's kind of different from, let's say, starting with a creator. I guess it's kind of like starting with me as a creator, but starting with the creator that then has a support mechanism from all their fans or whoever supports them, versus a platform that is actually helping people to come together to make teams.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, that's how I see Planetary Guardians going, but I don't know how that's going to fit with what you have. Are you sort of formulating it all with Planetary Guardians?
Am I formulating with Planetary Guardians? No.
No. I like that would be a no.
I will send you this though. And let's see, I think what I've looked at is the game architecture for creation itself. Like, what is the game of creation,
Okay.
right? For any community. And what is the architecture of how we would up level in a game and how we would play the game of creation? I think this is where we can align, because this is probably where, how would this work for Planetary Guardians? Planetary Guardians is an example of this game of creation, could be a great way to start. So I'm going to share this with
Do I,
you.
do I have to make you a host?
Yes.
Okay.
So I've gone into like the game. Who are the user types? Creator, family, friend, fan, follower. What are the different access levels given to the different levels? So you can call these names whatever you want. I don't really care. These are the names I've given them, but you can just look at them as access tiers and access levels. And
Okay.
what are the things that unlock when you have different access levels? So right now, each one of the NFTs represents different access levels. The more you play in the game, the more you unlock access levels, which unlocks capacity within the game, right?
That's a great way to do it.
Right. And then what is it? Subscribe to earn, participate to earn, what is the progression? So I join a community, I access it, post sharing, commenting, connect, propose projects, join pods, earn community points from your gifts and skills, earn rewards, level up, build friendships through collaboration. What is the requirements for a game? We need a system from up leveling someone to follower to family or stage 1 to stage 5, system for empowering ownership of the community to the users, system to earn based on your gifts and skills, a system for recruiting a global score across communities and a local level inside of your specific community, a method for displaying and showcasing one achievement within community and a clear feedback loop, a method of gamification to retain users on streaks of participation. So it's like every day, if you participate, you compound. So it really makes sure that people are on daily, right? Streaks have been a really powerful way that games have been doing it. A clear method of understanding what percentage goes into the creator and what parts goes into the community wallet. So how do you make sure that creators are not just giving everything away, that by building this, they're actually supported, but that the community also has funds to participate? And that's one of the innovations of creation. Nobody else has done this that I've seen, is built a custom multi-sig wallet that splits funds between the creator and the community, right? And that's something really unique with us. Clear understanding of roles and permissions across the different categories, including who can set bounties and roles and approve them. We've done a lot of this work. Ease of setting these permissions per NFT. We've done a lot of that work. Ease of purchasing and interaction with minimal Web3 knowledge. This is huge because we don't want people to have to think so much about wallets. We want them to be able to just, oh, I can just use this and buy it, right? Ease of interfacing with existing projects and change to support their NFTs being used as access into the community. So, anybody with an NFT project around the world should just be able to plug in. They don't have to necessarily create on our platform. It should be Web3, should be plug and play, right? And ease of payout redemption for anybody who wants to cash out their position. So we're looking at Syndicate Fi, and we're looking at some of these other solutions which are able to connect DAOs to be able to cash out to your bank. So these are some of the things that we're looking at. We need a bounty system. We need an XP game system, subscription membership system, job system, governance system, distribution system, invite system, revenue capture, and essentially the banking system. So these are some of the systems that we'll need to be able to fulfill upon these game requirements. Then we looked at what actions do we incentivize? Okay, I add somebody. Okay, somebody moves from a friend to a friend, or you move somebody up levels. Okay, I share something. Okay, I complete a bounty. Okay, I post I take Planetary Guardians posts and I post it on Facebook 20 times. I should get some bounty. Okay, I create a caravan. Okay, I subscribe, I donate, I create an NFT, I attend a course, I attend a live. My comment got X likes, my post got X upvotes. I attended an event, I created an event, I voted, a vote passed. I had affiliate sales. So these are some of the actions
Right.
that once you take, give certain up levels within the game. So we have to figure out what is the incentive layer for different actions. And then, yeah, I go into the philosophy. So, what is the game of cooperation versus the game of dominion? What is the game of ownership? Which is really important because the World Economic Forum is saying nobody needs to own anything. We're going to, remove ownership from the world. And it's like, no. Like the great thing about blockchain is you can actually demarcate ownership again. You can share ownership. So, what's the game of ownership? What's the game of stewardship? What's the game of impact? What's the game of influence? These are all games that we're playing essentially as a society. And so we're like, what methodologies are we using to understand these games that we're playing, and how do we look at the different things within our platform and looking at how they play these games? Yeah, I think this is a lot of the doc. And then I looked at our token utility, some of the things that it can do. And then these are just notes from me and my conversation with Marciano because he's such a prolific game designer. I just took a whole bunch of notes. So that's where I'm at right now.
Well, that's fantastic. Did you see the? Remember, I did a bit of a connection between the systems and the synergy wheel.
I remember. Let me just stop sharing screen. I'm just gonna lie. Oh, you're already invited to this, bro.
Yeah, no, I have seen it. I've gone through it.
Oh, you have. Okay, cool.
And my first thing was I was looking at. I can't see because the government system right at 9, job system at 3, bounty system at 6,
Yeah.
Banking system at 2.
Yeah.
I put the XP game system at 7. That would be the direct sort of like experience points for playing the game, right? Invite system at 8. Subscription membership system at 5, and the revenue capture system at 4. And those were kind of
also actually the bounties could be at 4 because bounties are kind of activities, aren't they?
yeah, but I was thinking that the bounties are done by your relationships, right? Like people are going to be doing, like, I guess it could be either one. Like, I guess bounties, like, are bounties internal or external? You're putting it to the whole community, or is it to your internal system? This would be both,
You're
right?
putting it to the whole community, one. Also, I was thinking relationships could be synergies. This is called the synergy wheel, right? And one of the things about our platform is that we map synergies. So your profile, your gifts, your skills, we map them to what the community's needs are. And that's how we actually connect where the jobs and activities are going to be. So I was thinking maybe relationships could be there as synergies.
Okay. And then distribution system was kind of like, it could be at 8, or it was almost outside the system, because the distribution system always seemed to be something outside, right, of the platform in a sense. Anyway, that was my first go at looking at the integration with the synergy map. For anyone wondering what we're talking about, maybe I'll put that up behind.
I really like that map, by the way. I think this is what we need. So we need to take that and put that now in this document, the game of creation. This is how we interface. Like, this is the perfect way to interface. Is like, okay, great. You took what I did, you put it in the inflow. I take that, put it back in the document. Now our whole team has that as a reference. The more we can do this exact thing, the more our systems are going to align.
Okay. And you can, and again, like those 8 interfaces for the inflow, which I sent you, right? Maybe we can put them. I don't know if they all match, but I think
I think the Planetary Guardians scorecard. We got to look at that scorecard you created. Remember that? And let's take that scorecard and bring that here and see how does that scorecard map to this system? What needs to be adjusted to it? Because that could be something really useful as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Because essentially you created a point score system for bounties and activities. I mean, you were mapping this way before any of us, right? So
yeah. Okay, let me just write that down. Valley in March. Yeah, that's good because it gives me enough time to finish here or get it close. I mean, I'm still working on the manual, right? So getting close to having that done. Well, close. But. The bounty system. Can you describe that a little bit more?
Sure. So the bounties are the community now has a treasury, right, of funds, not only its own token, but also actual stablecoin because it's been raising money through subscriptions, right? So Planetary Guardians can have a monthly subscription to people who are in the ecosystem. They receive tools, they receive, monthly stuff from the new paradigm toolkit. And so we're talking about subscribe to earn, which has never been thought of before. Right now, it's one way. It's I subscribe, I receive your content, the end. Subscribe to earn says I subscribe, but every time I give money monthly, I'm not just getting really cool content. I'm actually getting ownership in this DAO where I can actually now earn. So I'm paying $20 a month for the new paradigm toolkit. I can actually earn 100 a month just by being a coach or by earning bounties. So it's like it changes the perception of I'm just giving into I'm actively almost investing into this community that's actually feeding back to me. And that's the paradigm shift we're trying to bring. So what bounties are is that the community owners say, hey, these are the tasks we need to get done. A bounty could be share this post 10 times and be able to earn X. The bounty can be, I want you to be able I need somebody to be able to do, who's amazing at copywriting to be able to do and create this manual for me. Somebody in the community says, hey, I'm the best. And 30 people submit and you can go be like, yeah, this is the best person. I submit that and they get a bounty. So it's basically like jobs. A bounty is essentially a job. It can be either at 8 or marketing, or it can be at any one of those levels that you set essentially a bounty for completion.
So it's a reward system for doing work.
Exactly. It's a reward system.
I mean, that's perfect. I mean, that's the big missing element, I think, in real community life, right? Is having a fair share of exchanges for the work, for your labor that you do. So many people are doing work for nothing, and so many people are making huge amounts of money for maybe doing nothing, right? So to have something that's fair, or at least equitable,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. Like, yeah, when I went through it, I thought, holy cow, that's um, it's getting much closer, right? It's
Yeah, we're getting closer, man. Like, oh, I can't wait for you to actually see the platform demo. Um,
How soon
yeah,
before that, or
probably 2, 3 weeks.
hmm,
I know people are going to go for Christmas and do the thing, but we're getting closer. We're getting closer by the day, man. It's just, our burn rate's almost run out. We've had to cut the whole team back. Like it's been, you know how it is. It's just like this is the journey.
yeah, you got like oh man, it's so funny, eh? You're just on the edge, always on the edge, right? Of
Always on the edge, man. I just look forward to the day we're not always on the edge. I really do. I think it's coming soon, though. I really feel this upcoming year is the year of breakthrough. I feel it. I feel it's going to be the breakthrough financially. I feel it's going to break through in abundance to the DAOs. Like it just feels like the year, bro. I can feel it. Like the confluence of people, the level of collective understanding there is around the DAO. It's like we're not the only ones holding this, man. Like, I remember feeling so alone like 5, 6 years ago, being like, there's nobody else thinking SKC. There's nobody else thinking Nexus. Like when we were mapping this out, I mean, fuck, it was so far beyond what people were even conceiving. And now other people are inviting me to their DAO gatherings. I'm like, wow, like this is great. you know?
well, and it's funny because it's at the same time the central bank digital currencies are coming in, right? I mean, they're basically it looks like they're going to come in 2025, and
Yeah.
they're pushing it forward now. So
We got to be prepped, man. We got to have our shit ready.
yeah, I mean, if we don't do it now, it's going to be too late, I think. So
It's gonna be too late. That's why I've got such urgency, bro, because I see the macro systems. Like I know the fuckery that they're playing to try to discredit crypto and FTX and the whole media narrative. They're trying to plant this whole thing to get the world to distrust it so they can put their own fucking crypto in. Fuck those guys.
yeah,
And yeah, I'll say that on recording because I actually fucking believe that.
yeah.
No, not happening, man.
Well,
But
I mean,
what gives me hope is that there's a critical mass awakening.
mhm.
There really is. I'm really feeling the critical mass awakening. Like people are, even people like Andrew Tate, like, say whatever you want about him, like guys helping wake people up as far as I'm seeing it. And, saying shit like it is and being like, fuck you guys. Like, this is how we're going to say it. Like, and, people like Musk, as much as I don't agree with him, like on a lot of things, like I think people are just becoming more aware of the fact that there is a cabal running shit and that this cabal running shit is really stewarding this global narrative in a certain way. And more people that wake up to that and are powerful voices in the mainstream, like the more other mainstream ordinary people are going to wake up and be like, no, 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 no. we're going to participate inside of a new system. And so we get to be the spear point that's not just talking about it, but actually doing something about it.
Mm. Well, I think from what I get, the Canadian truckers were like the huge catalyst of force that, at least for me, inspired me, thinking that there are a lot of Canadians, there are a lot of
There
people
are.
see what's going on, know what's
They're
going
a big,
on.
they're a big percentage now. I mean, I think, even 10, 20% of a population is huge. That's
If it,
big numbers.
well, especially if it's committed, right? Like, I mean, the big
Mhm.
difference is the people in between. They just go either way. They're not really. They have no will of their own. And then you've got the people trying to enforce the oppression mechanisms, hiding as the good guys. And then you've
Mhm.
got all the awake, conscious people who know exactly what's going on. And I think it's time to get organized, right? And I think what you're doing, and I guess what I'm doing is it, it's coming at the right time. I mean, 10 years ago it wouldn't have worked. 15 years ago it wouldn't have worked. Um,
Yeah,
people weren't ready. People weren't ready at all.
they weren't. They really weren't.
Okay, so what a next step is? Okay, so you want the I'll redo those values maps. Um, I suggest for you to, if like, it's a powerful experience to go through that and create your own value systems at all those levels. I mean, it might be too much. I don't know. I'll do this for you, and then why don't we just go back and forth from that in terms of just ask for what you want, and I'll get it done. Like, it's time to merge the systems in terms of the documentation. So
It is. And I think as soon as I have a bit of a demo, I'll get it to you. Um, this is super MVP, so don't expect too much. But I think it'll be a good starting point for us to look at, okay, if this is the game system now and it's mapped to the inflow, how does that, holy shit, bird really wanted to get in here. Okay, that's a game system and it's mapped to the inflow, that may be the primary reference map then again. Like I think us finding keep finding those primary references. I think the last thing is that we're going to be building the Creation DAO Council now. So we're looking at who are the best creators, thought leaders, systems architects, people that we want to be able to pull together as a council to be able to birth this DAO. Because creation is now going to become a DAO. So I think having you at the table as one of the leaders in that process and us looking at how we use the inflow to start organizing some of that is something that I want to put together. Shaq is also going to be helping lead that from a community lens. So putting it in your field that's coming. There's
okay,
also incentives with that. So every single person who participates in the DAO is also and who helps lead, we're going to be making one of the owners of the DAO. So you'll be one of the owners of the DAO. And I think, having a bit more pre-prep on our side, you being obviously internal, where you're looking at how we're organizing this council, because that council, I think, is going to be what really births this down.
okay. Is that going to be like 12 people? Is that
I'm thinking it needs to be a bit more than 12 people,
20?
potentially 20. Yeah. So we should look at what the sacred number looks like. That's a good start, good
Yeah.
starting point.
I'd suggest 20 because it always came through. Remember I said that when the 20 come together, that's when this thing's going to go.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the 20 felt right in my body when you said it. So I think 20 is good.
okay. Okay. Well, that's exciting. It's very exciting. I'd be honored to participate, and you have my full support.
Thanks,
And
brother.
I'd love to come to Bali. I think that sounds
Thanks, I do. I think it'd be great to have you here. So I'll send you all the information around that event. The Dow Council and the Universe, take a look into them. I'll forward you all their decks. I think you're going to get super excited on multiple levels, seeing that, okay, somebody's actually doing this.
right. Yeah, I feel I've been stuck in the valley waiting here a while for the other people to show up. Okay, well, great to chat with you. Good to see you. We should talk more often, I think, as we
I
often
think
say.
so too, as we often say. But I think this is good. I mean, my time zone now. This is the time zone I'm in, so it kind of has to be after 4 or 5 o'clock your time. So just know that if you message me in that kind of window as well, and I message you in that window, that's generally when I'll be available to talk.
Okay. Okay. Great to see you.
Okay. Take care, brother.